Hey guys, so I left Kenya. I left a few months ago actually. And the reason I left is because my plan was to only stay for 3 months, and because I had told my friends and that I would be back in America for Christmas. I also had a plan. At that time, before I even went to Kenya, one of my big dreams was to live the van life or the RV life and just live in a van or an RV in America and travel around. That's what I wanted to do for the longest time. So I remember leaving Kisumu. I flew on a little airplane from Kisumu to Nairobi, and when I got to Nairobi, it really hit me. I was just like waiting for my plane, and I just like, there was this feeling inside of me that was saying, this just doesn't feel right. This just doesn't feel right. But you know, I'd already paid for my ticket. I had already told my best friend I was coming and was going to be there for Christmas, and I'd already made these plans, but inside it just didn't feel right. But you know, I already had the ticket. Everything was all arranged. Didn't want to let down my friend. So I flew to America, and it was a long-ass flight. I flew from Nairobi to New York, direct flight. It was like 16 hours. Then a 5-hour flight from New York to Phoenix. It was a long, long journey.
Hey guys, just arrived in New York City, my first time back to America in 8 years. And my buddy Danielle here came to meet me. He worked late last night, he woke up early. It's about, you know, he came out here like, what, 7 a.m. around, right?
Yeah, 7.
Man, I really appreciate it, man. But yeah, I'm journeying on. I'm at JFK right now in New York. I gotta go to Phoenix after this. Anyways, Danielle, thanks for coming out, man.
Anytime.
Thanks.
So I finally got to Phoenix, and it was really fun at first. Like, the first place I went was to like a Mexican restaurant. I love Mexican food. Party with my friends, had a great time. It was quite a change to go from Kenya, rural Kenya, to Phoenix, Arizona. Just like so modern in America. The streets were clean, very organized, quiet. It was very scenic there. I was there in the winter, so the weather was nice. Very beautiful red rock desert scenery.
Thanks for meeting up with me today, man.
Yeah, man. What's up?
Me and Mark out here at Papago.
Yep,
Papago Park, yeah. Thanks for bringing me out here, man.
Welcome. Let's go hike around some mountains.
Yeah.
See some bitches.
So I started to pursue leads on vans and RVs, and you know, I started living my everyday life in America while I was making this transition. And the longer I was there, it's hard to explain, but I liked it, but I just felt like it wasn't a fit for me. And more so, my dream about doing the RV life, what became more apparent to me was, this is something I want to do, and I want to share this experience with somebody else. I don't want to do this alone. Also, as you know, as the weeks progress in America, I started to feel like Americans are really fucking fake. Like when I'd go to restaurants or go shopping for clothes or whatever, they were nice, but it was like a fake nice. They were like a rude nice, if that makes any sense. They were nice and like smiling and speaking polite English, but like it was so ingenuine. The nicest people I met, honestly, was when I was taking the bus, like public transportation. Coolest people would just come up and talk to me, sit down, very friendly. Other than that, people were just cold and distant, just like Japan. But yeah, Phoenix was pretty cool because they had the public transportation was set up real nice. They had like scooters you could rent, or bicycles. So like, this could be a whole separate video, but some things I loved about America was, and that I could never get in Japan or Kenya or other countries, was I could find shoes in my size and clothes. That was wonderful. Oh my God, there was such a huge selection of shoes and pants that I could buy. Couldn't find that anywhere else. And then number two was the food. Oh God, I love the food. In Phoenix, you can find all kinds of international food. I like the junk food, and I just gorged on food. But that's about it, you know, and those things are kind of superficial. That wasn't enough to really keep me there. I just, as the days went by, I felt more and more alienated. The conversations felt trivial, and I'm not very good at articulating my experiences, so it's like when somebody asks you, you know, so how was Japan? It's like they're asking me like I just went on a frickin' vacation to Japan, but I lived there for 19 years, and like, how am I supposed to sum up, you know, and convey to you how your life changes and how you change when you've been living in Japan? You've been living overseas for 19 years, and they're asking me, so how was Japan? As if I just went there on a trip, you know? I'm sure they saw me as like one of their own, but I didn't feel like one of their own. These are just some strange feelings. I don't know if you guys can relate to this or not.
I'm in America right now. I'm in Arizona, in a city called Phoenix. And I'm walking to the library right now. Hope you're having a wonderful evening.
Yeah, just like when I go out and stuff, like people are just kind of robotic and they're not very friendly. You know, except for like when I'd ride the bus, you know, when I was around like the people that had the least amount of stuff, the people who didn't have much money, those were the friendliest people. But other than that, people were dicks. So I'll save that for another video, but I came to the conclusion that I don't want to stay here. I'm a free spirit. I don't think I can ever live in America again. I've come to the conclusion that I do like America. I love America, but I love America as a place to visit. I also like Japan, but from now on, I'm going to love Japan as a place to visit. And another thing I really realized while I was in America and while I'm here in this country as well, is that I really love East Africa. I feel like I made a deeper connection there than any other place I've ever been to. So my journey is to get back there, and that's what I'm working on right now. So it looks like that feeling I had at the airport that was telling me not to leave was right. And I guess if I was to give you any advice from this video, it's trust your intuition, trust your gut, go with your feelings on things, even though you can't articulate it or explain it in any rational way. Alright guys, that's my story. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.